Genghis Khan was a 13th century Mongol warlord, conqueror of Central Asia, the Caucasus, and Eastern Europe. He was the founder and ruler of the first continental power in history. Real name, Temujin, was the founder and ruler of the largest continental empire in history. He was a military leader who carried out many conquest campaigns in Central Asia, China, the Caucasus, and Eastern Europe. The date of birth of the future commander is controversial. Some researchers call 1155, others 1162. The boy's parents were Esuge Bataga and his wife Ulun. The son of the dead leader was an ambitious man and always aspired to power. At the beginning of his biography of the ruler, he was in dire need of support, which he found in the person of the Khan of the Kerates Toril, a close friend and twin of Yesuge. Khan agreed to help the young warrior, for which he made for him dozens of victorious campaigns to neighboring lands. So the young man from Temujin turned into Genghis Khan, who became famous for loud military successes and multiplied his territories several times. The young warrior's army grew stronger year after year, while other Mongol leaders lost their warriors by the thousands. Genghis Khan's strategy was to keep as many opponents as possible and eventually win them over to his sides. The first significant campaign the young commander undertook was against a tribe of Merkits who were in favor of the Taichut army. The enemies even managed to steal his wife, but the brave commander coped with this problem by defeating their detachments and bringing his beloved home. Representatives of neighboring tribes Turil and Jamukhi, who became Temujin's brothers, helped the ruler. In time, Turil distanced himself from his friend and returned to his native horde, while Jamukhi remained Genghis Khan's comrade in arms for some time. Soon the adherent began to feel serious dislike for his more popular comrade, which became the reason for their breakup. Seeking discord, Jamukhi found reason to feud with his longtime friend. The situation became heated when Jamukhi's younger brother tried to steal horses from Genghis Khan, which almost resulted in a severe punishment for him. Using this as a pretext for revenge, Jamukhi suddenly attacked his comrade's troops, winning his first victory. But Temujin's story does not end so easily. His unyielding spirit did not allow him to be alone with defeat. Having recovered, he began to prepare new military campaigns, attracting his faithful ally Turil. With the strength of a united army, they achieved a series of grandiose victories over the Tatars, enriching themselves and accumulating considerable treasures. From this time on, Genghis Khan received the honorable name of Jauthuri, which means military commissar. The decisive battle between Temujin's army and the combined forces of Wang Khan and Jamukha took place in 1202. The commander carried out a decisive attack on the enemy units while trying to avoid heavy losses of enemy soldiers. Genghis Khan announced to his soldiers that before the successful completion of the battle, he did not allow them to take any booty. The commander promised to distribute all the conquered after the completion of the operation. The result of the battle was the unconditional victory of Temujin and the execution of thousands of Tatars. Only young children were left alive. Since 1206, Temujin was in the status of the Great Khan, whose domain included the endless Mongolian steppes. He began to be called Chinggis, which translated meant Lord of the Boundless in the Sea. Already during the life of the conqueror, everyone realized that his role in the life of the Mongol tribes was huge, and his army was considered one of the strongest in the world. No one dared to challenge the great ruler. Genghis Khan became a hero of many books and movies, not only because of his victorious campaigns, but also because of his successful state policy that made the Mongolian state strong and powerful. The power of the Mongol Empire was growing every year. Before Temujin came to power, The tribes led a disjointed way of life and were constantly at war with each other. The ruler's policy benefited the state. Since then, the inhabitants have become increasingly united, realizing that the strength of the power lies in cohesion. For many centuries, the Mongols were associated with brutal tribal warriors, but Genghis Khan managed to turn the tide and make the country united and powerful. Temujin dreamed of leaving to his descendants not only the conquered territories, but also a strong, developed state. Under Genghis, a law was passed according to which neighboring tribes were supposed to provide military assistance in campaigns against enemies. Deceivers and traitors were punished severely, up to the death penalty. To unite his people, the ruler mixed representatives of different clans, which led to a reduction in conflicts between tribes. Since 1207, the commander's army conquered almost all Siberian territories, from where huge tribute in the form of furs and precious metals flowed to Genghis Khan's feet. The ambitious commander was not going to limit himself to this. He was interested in the subjugation of China. In 1213, the ruler and his army crossed the border of the Jin state and established their own order there. All along the way, Mongolian troops met Chinese soldiers who surrendered to them without resistance. Many enemy soldiers voluntarily joined Temujin's camp. Genghis Khan died shortly before the conquest from the main resistance, the inhabitants of the Chinese city of Zhongxing. The cause of the commander's death is not precisely established. Some historians call severe illness due to the unusual climate. Others claim that the conqueror was badly traumatized, having fallen from his horse. There is no reliable information about the location of Temujin's grave.